Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and I was always told I had a voice radio, so today I am showing you the new Blissey from the upcoming Guardians Rising set. And this Blissey could be kind of fun. Starting off, 160 HP is huge for a Stage 1. That's in line with Stage 2s like Dragonite, but then of course, Blissey does have a somewhat large HP in the video game. And the retreat cost of 4 means you can even use heavy boots, pop Blissey up to 180. That is up to EX standard, ladies and gentlemen. Now, being colourless means you're not hitting anything for weakness because it's been a while since Garchomp C Level X and the so-called colourless wars, but weakness to fighting means you will be hit for double damage by things like Persimmon, Zygarde, etc. Now, Blissey's got one attack and one ability, and they could both be kind of useful. The attack for 4 colourless energy just does a flat 160 and does 80 to yourself. Now, in standard, there's nothing you can do about that, you just have to take the damage like a man. Or indeed, like an egg Pokemon. However, in Expanded, we've got Protection Cube. And Protection Cube, which was clearly meant for Mega Charizard, means that you don't take any damage from your own attacks. So now you're just doing a flat 160 for 4 energy. Now, yes, 4 energy is expensive, but there aren't that many Pokemon that just do a flat 160. And if you go and pop a Professor Kukui down as your supporter for the turn, now you're doing 180, you're getting a one-hit KO on most EX Pokemon. This is very, very nice. And against non-GXs, you don't even need Professor Kukui. You're doing 160, and even really bulky non-GXs like Dragonite will fall to that attack. The big downside being, of course, that if you don't have a Protection Cube, that 80 damage to yourself really is very, very harsh. It means you're sitting there with 80 hit points, and you're just not going to last much longer. And of course, if you've already got 80 or more damage on you, you will KO yourself at the same time. But 160, there aren't that many Pokemon that do 160 flat. So, the energy. 4 colourless energy is a lot. Now, yes, you can use double colourless energy, but do you really want to be putting 2 double colourless energy onto a Pokemon that's going to be left there with 80 HP? Yeah, you do a lot of damage, but you're losing an awful lot of resources. In Standard, without Protection Cube, without mass acceleration, I'm not loving Blissey. But in Expanded, not only do we have Protection Cube, but we have a bunch of options for accelerating a whole bunch of energy. We've got Electric for Lightning Pokemon. We've got Bronzong for Metal Pokemon. We've got Blastoise for Water Pokemon. All of whom will also allow you to attach the energy to non-water Pokemon, like for instance Blissey. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we're rocking and rolling. You pop a Protection Cube on Blissey so you don't take that 80 damage. Then you accelerate energy using your Electric, your Bronzong, your Blastoise, maybe in conjunction with double colourless energy. And now the energy cost isn't too harsh, and now you're not doing the extra damage to you. Now you're just playing a non-EX, non-GX Pokemon that's doing 160 damage for 4 energy, which isn't that difficult to get on in the first place. Now, I can't go through every possible attacker, but let's take something like Keldeo. Keldeo does 130 if you put 4 energy on. Well, Blissey does 160. Now, Blissey only has 10 HP left and only gives up 1 prize, but you can't use Fighting Fury Belt, so Keldeo is a little bit bulkier, but gives up 2 prizes. Bronzong is often used with Genesect EX, the metal one. With 4 energy on Genesect, if you discard them all, you only do 180. That's 20 damage less than Blissey, but you've got to discard the 4 energy, and it's a 2 prize Pokemon. So in Expanded, with these Pokemon with Protection Cube, Blissey turns into a really quite good option. And that's before we even get to the ability. Blissey's got a really nice ability. When you evolve Blissey from your hand, i.e. you can't use Wally to evolve and use the ability, you heal 80 damage from the active. Now if you're already thinking of using Blissey as a Pokemon for the attack to start dealing out good attack as a non-EX, non-GX Pokemon, and then you've got this ability as an added bonus, healing 80 damage is pretty gosh darn good. This is only 10 damage less than Gold Potion, and that was an Ace spec, and it is just a flat healing, so maybe Max Potion heals more damage, but Max Potion says you got to lose your energy. Blissey doesn't. I don't know if it's worth playing a stage 1 just for the ability, but if you're playing Blissey anyway, it's really, really good as a nice little bonus. In the standard format, I cannot get on board with Blissey. The 80 damage to yourself is a little bit too much. The 2 double colourless energy attack is just too expensive. I'm not loving it. But as a non-EX, non-GX Pokemon, in Electric, in Bronzong, in Blastoise, with Protection Cube, where you've got 160 HP, and you heal when you evolve, and you're just doing a flat 160 for 4 energy, I really, really like Blissey. So let's go ahead and give Blissey between 3 and 4 Wassies. In Expanded, I'm leaning up towards 4. In Standard, I think 3 might be a little bit generous. Now you know the deal, ladies and gentlemen, there is a comment section. Go nuts, be nice. There are buttons to both like this video and subscribe to this channel. I would be delighted if you would use them both. You can follow me on Twitter @TheWassie, and the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.